everything he said, and they fined this township over $500,000. But unfortunately, he rubbed elbows, and as a result, he found himself under indictment for misconduct. It took 7 years. There's a guy suspended without pay for 7 years, a family man on the brink of bankruptcy. Unfortunately enough, through the intervention of one of our honorees tonight, Brian Thompson from NBC News, who did an expose, within months, the new prosecutor reevaluated everything and dismissed everything. 7 years under indictment. Fortunately, he's honorably retired, but these are the type of cases that we stand for. Last year, you may recall, we went to the aid of an ATF agent who we believe was being selectively prosecuted, and as you know, he was fully acquitted of all charges as well. In the area of Operation Kids, of which tonight the proceeds go to, we were proud to bring into the United States a teenager by the name of Gladys Homavila. You may have seen her. It was a story that was profiled on CBS, NBC, and Fox 5 News. She was accidentally shot in the head by her 9-year-old brother with a shotgun, leaving 60 pellets lodged in her head, and it caused her blindness. And we heard about the case. It was the right thing to do. We brought her into the U.S., had her fully evaluated, and got her training at the Lighthouse Foundation. Unfortunately, we couldn't restore her eyesight, but we returned her and enrolled her and funded the cost of putting her into a school for seeing children, seeing high school. Tonight, we have some people here that helped us bring that case to a successful completion. We have a young girl, Lillian Pravda, who's 13 years old, a native New Yorker, who had eye problems herself, and at the age of 9 set up an eye foundation. It was Lillian's help that got us into New York Eye and Ear Hospital that was able to do all the evaluation. In addition, we have here people that flew in from Guayaquil, from Ecuador, Cuenca, Ecuador. We have Dr. Fernando Vargas, we have Jose Zane, we have Magali Campoverdi, who's one of our attorneys, and we have Frank Ortiz, one of our public relations people. The point is, the foundation had a good year, and we continue to grow. We are well over 180,000 members nationwide and in 13 foreign countries. And as part of that, we recently recruited the police in Aruba. And we have here tonight the president of the Aruba Police Union, PVA, Guilford Besabril. In conclusion, I want to thank everyone again for coming here tonight, and congratulations to all our distinguished honorees and our scholarship winners. Thank you. I have here Lillian Pravda, the 13-year-old girl that I said was instrumental in helping us, and she, at 13, it's amazing, she has her own foundation. So I have a little something for her. We have a Special Achievement Award for Operation Kids for Lillian. Would you like to say something?
Once there was a time a man went for a stroll on the beach. The sun was shining and it was a beautiful day. In the distance, he could see a woman hurrying back and forth between the surf's edge and the beach. Back and forth she went, picking up starfish one by one and throwing them back into the surf. As the man approached, he could see that there were thousands of miles of beach covered with starfish, and he was struck by the woman's task. He turned to her and said, "You must realize that there are thousands of miles of beach covered with starfish. You can't possibly make a difference." The woman stooped down, picked up one more starfish, and threw it back into the ocean. She then turned to him and replied, "Sure made a difference to that one," and continued her work. Thank you, Mr. Acapinti and the National Police Defense Foundation for a part of your wonderful foundation and for making a difference in many people's lives.
Good job. Congratulations. Thank you.
Thank you. We have, at this time, I will begin the award presentations. In order to properly honor many accomplishments of these fine individuals, it would take me all evening to read their entire bios. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to just read a brief synopsis of their bios.
I want to put my camera there. This one.
Okay?
I'm just going to stand right there.
We normally present 5 scholarships. However, this year,
Right there.
there were 6 entries. We couldn't decide which one to accept. So we presented 6 $1,000 scholarship awards. And I'm going to call those awardees out one by one. The first one is Jacqueline Conway, daughter of Npdf delegate Joe Conway. Jacqueline will be attending St. Francis College and studying radiology. Second one is Stephanie Matuza. She's the daughter of retired NYPD lieutenants Barbara and Al Matuza. Stephanie will be attending Morrisville State College and studying equine science. The next one is the son of Michael Saldana, the son of Nassau County retired Sergeant Carmine Saldana. Michael will be attending Stony Brook University. I don't lose major. Next is Nicole Milstein. She's the daughter of Donna and Stan Milstein, New York Tax Department Taxation and Finance Enforcement. Nicole has not yet chosen to college, but her major will be speech. The next one is Melvin Feldon, daughter of retired Corporal Toms River Police Department Robert Feldon. Megan will be attending Monmouth University and studying chemistry. And last but not least, Eleanor F. Abraham, the daughter of retired NYPD Inspector Robert Abraham. Eleanor will be attending the Fashion Institute of Technology and studying fashion management and merchandising. Everybody there? For the first time, we are making an award posthumously. This award goes to Award for Valor to ATF Agent John Buchanan. May we please have a moment of silence. John was off duty and he entered a pharmacy in Seaford, New York, while an armed robbery was in progress. John, while protecting his neighborhood, was killed in the ensuing gunfight. John's final act of valor has forever changed the lives of his family, his friends, and his colleagues, and he will be remembered in our hearts. Presenting the $2,000 death benefit to his family are special agents in charge, Joe Anarumo and Kelleher, Agent Kelleher. And can the family and those two agents please come up? Family of John Cabral.
Just wanted to say thank you to all the law enforcement personnel out here and recognizing John for his efforts, and you guys will continue to make his efforts not in vain, and again, just keep us moving forward in a positive way in this world. Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
The next award will be presented by our Secretary, NYPD Sergeant Laura Russo'S. Reading for Laura Russo'S, who did bring her glasses. The National Police Defense Foundation's 2012 Distinguished Member Award is our Operation Kids Administrator, retired probation officer, John DePrima. John's credentials are numerous. He has dedicated his life to humanitarian causes by delivering humanitarian aid and medical supplies to Brazil and to hospitals, orphanages, and clinics around the world. John is also part of the Comet Foundation, which is dedicated to the education and welfare of wayward children, the Movement Therapy Foundation for persons challenged with mobility impairments, how I propose, and Rescue 8, an elite animal rescue group, and many other community organizations. I am proud to present this 2012 Distinguished Member Award to our delegate, John DePrima.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, distinguished guests, honorees. I'd like to dedicate myself and thank the board for this prestigious award. God, I always wanted one of those statues. I'd like to thank Angela and Joe for appointing me the Director and Administrative Operation Kids. I want to thank them for their trust and their confidence they had in me to carry this job. It's a big job, and I tell you, when I retired from probation, Joe had asked me if I'd like to represent the organization and become the administrator, and I wholeheartedly said yes. At that time, we had brought in a baby from Ecuador, Guayaquil, baby Melanie Macias, and her mother, Inez. Unfortunately, it wasn't God's will to keep baby Melanie alive, but through the help of various organizations we partner with, Gift of Life and Ronald McDonald House, we were able to successfully complete the operation, and unfortunately the baby died because of complications of surgery. At that time, we had met so many wonderful doctors over at Snyder's Children's Hospital, specifically a Dr. David Myers, who at that time came out, and just like TV, the doctor comes in the room and sits down with the family and tells everybody what's going on, and he says, listen, Joe, I'm on my feet 14 hours trying to save this child. I have 2 daughters of my own, and I'm not leaving the hospital until I can stabilize this child. Then Joe said to me, he says, listen, Johnny, we have to do something. Let's look out of the box. So one night, me and my wife, we brainstormed and said, what are we going to do? We brought a child in here who doesn't speak English, who doesn't like the food. I took them to McDonald's and Burger King. I couldn't satisfy these people for nothing. They just didn't like the food, didn't understand the language. So my wife and I, we had gone to an Ecuadorian church in Pacho. And at that time, it was a biased crime on an Ecuadorian immigrant who got killed. My wife and I had gone to the church, and the way they looked at us like, what are you doing here, especially in this neighborhood? And then we had gone there and said, listen, we need your help. We don't want money, we just need help. So as a result of that, we had women from the church that were going back and forth to the hospital every day for 2 weeks, bringing her native food, bringing her support. We had prayer vigils. I mean, they were doing these crazy things where I could expect smoke to come out of their ears. It was wonderful. And then the following day, Joe and I received a call from Commissioner Dormer's office out in Suffolk County. And he says, you don't realize what you did. And I says, tell us what we did. And he had said to me, he says, listen, he says, you went into a biased, attacked community that had so much hate. He says, but you were able to bring law enforcement and the community together. She says, it doesn't make a difference if it was 1 minute or 10 minutes. We had a community backing with law enforcement for the first time she could ever remember. And this was something that is an accomplishment to the organization. And I just want to thank everyone. I'd like to give a shout out to Billy Khan, President. Like many of us, Paul Romano, Andy Soroka, and Joaquin the Honor Legion, which I'm proud to be an honorary member. Like many of us, this organization, and then the three I mentioned. You know, there's one thing about law enforcement, especially with the Npdf Honor Legion. You know, these guys put their uniforms on every day, and they go on there and they're proud, but they have the stuff that goes underneath that uniform, right down to the heart. And that's what makes it. That's what makes law enforcement great. That's what makes the foundation great. Joe, I want to thank you, Angela, family. You know, to Joe, he's a grandfather, a father. To law enforcement, he's a friend, and also someone who dedicates his life to making the lives of people a lot easier. Thank you, everybody. Well, I'm on borrowed time. I'm coming out of a facility in Plain Cove. I'm in a rehab because I've just had 3 operations on my leg, so I have to be back by 11 o'clock. I've got the watch commander setting out for me. But thank you all so much. I appreciate everybody, and thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, John. John mentioned right here for now, card. Angela, could you please stand up? She is the heart and soul of our organization. She's been understated and bear with us a couple of seconds.
Some water. Picture of water. Oh, I got it.
Our Executive Director, Joseph Pinty, will make the next presentation.
Special Agent John Adler, President of the National President of the Federal Law Enforcement Officers Association, better known as LEO. John is responsible for drafting the Congressional Badge of Bravery Act. The badges are awarded annually to federal, state, and local law enforcement officers who have sustained the physical injury or posthumously when death occurs, while they are engaged in their lawful police duty. This award is presented by the United States Attorney General and the recipient's congressional representative. John began his law enforcement career in 1991, and since 1994, has been a criminal investigator. It gives me great pleasure to designate Special Agent John Adler, the National President of LEOA, as the recipient of the 2012 President's Award.
I'll be brief because it's very difficult to stand here with my jacket buttoned, so if nothing else, it'll be short. When you run an organization, and by the way, I don't deserve any award, I'm just another guy with a title who's trying to do the right thing by the people who risk their lives every day to defend our country, our institutions, and our way of living. Joe, come up here. Joe hosts the event. I was here last year. For those of you out there in the West Wing, calm down for a minute. Thank you very much. I promise to buy you the next round. Of course, it's already paid for. It's nice to come up here and get an award and be recognized for what you do. But really, when you cut to the core of it, it's people like Joe Acapenti that really deserve the award, yet spend most of their time presenting them. As you all know, Joe's a retired guy. He doesn't need to do this. I mean, hell, we can go out and play golf and get drunk anywhere. But Joe's here because if I had a doctor in the house to get me a blood sample, what's in Joe's veins is blue. Blue to the core. Joe exudes everything that we all risk our lives for. So I dedicate my little microphone time recognizing a true honorable man who supports all of us out there. Joe, God bless you. Thank you for the opportunity to be here. All of you stay safe. God bless America. And thank Joe Acapenti for representing all of us.
The Excellence in Media Award is being presented by our treasurer, Marlborough, New Jersey Police Officer Javier Gargiulo.
Brian Thompson has served New Jersey reporters on News 4 Universe since 1998. Brian has wrote multiple stories, including the startling announcement of then Governor James McGreevey that he would resign as a sex scandal 2 hours before the governor made an announcement himself on the air. 1 year after 9/11, Brian was the first and only reporter to listen to the air New Jersey police records of the attack. For this, Brian received an Emmy nomination. Brian was the first in many other issues such as the first gay marriage wedding, the resignation of State Police Superintendent Joseph Santiago, Frank Lautenberg's re-entrance into the Senate race, and shortly thereafter, Lautenberg's name being allowed to replace Robert Torricelli on the ballot. Prior to joining WNBC, he covered the White House for 5 years. In 2005, Brian earned a New York Emmy for his work on the political series What Matters. We can read all this and other accomplishments that he's done in our journal, and it gives me great pleasure to present Brian Thompson with the National Police Defense Foundation 2012 Excellence in Media Awards.
Well, first of all, I want to echo all the comments made about Joe just a minute ago. If it hadn't been for him, I wouldn't have done the story on Steve Henderson. And he really made it happen. He should probably keep this award more than anybody. I want to thank you all for this honor. I'm a little on the verge of trepidation here. I came over from New Jersey, obviously, and I actually parked down on the street there, and I saw a couple of cops in front of me parking their cars, and one of them puts a club on his wheel. The other one folds the mirror against his car, and I'm thinking, where am I? I thought New York was safe here, guys. Come on, you guys are in here. What's going on out there? I just want to say this about Chief Kenneth Henderson, who, by all accounts, was wrongly accused several years ago. And I think all of you have heard the phrase, justice delayed is justice denied. It was denied for 7 years to Chief Henderson. Joe called me in to do the story, suggested various people that I should talk to. I talked to, which I did, and then of course I made the call to the prosecutor's office, and all of a sudden I think there was a newfound interest in the plight of Chief Henderson. But certainly, where justice was supposed to be swift and sure in anybody's case, it was slow and shaky in Chief Henderson's case. And I feel honored to be just a small part in telling a story about somebody who certainly has the appearance of being the victim of justice passing him by. And I just want to salute all of the Chief Hendersons out there, all of the Joe Ocapentes who probably don't even play very good golf, do you, Joe? I didn't think so. That's why he's doing this. And thank you all for this honor very much. Thank you very much.
This year's Lifetime Achievement Award is being presented to our retired Vice President and my good friend, retired Detective John Hickey. John was born and bred in the Bronx to a middle-class family who instilled in him the values that we recognize tonight. John began his career as an NYPD trainee and assigned to the latent print unit, where he became a latent print expert. Upon reaching the age of 21, he was assigned to the 34th Precinct in Washington Heights, a predominantly Spanish area. John studied the Spanish language in order to better communicate with the residents, as he became extremely proficient in the language. John has had several assignments within the police department, including the Senior Citizens Robbery Unit, where he developed programs designed to protect seniors. Thank you for that, John. His final assignment was in the Manhattan North Homicide Squad. John has received many citations for valor and meritorious police work. For the past 15 years, he has served as the Vice President of the National Police Defense Foundation, and he played a vital role assisting the board in becoming the internationally recognized agency that we are today. John is married to his lovely wife, Pauline, and they have been blessed with 3 loving daughters, Jackie, Jamie, and Christina. It gives me great pleasure to introduce John Hickey as our Lifetime Achievement Award. John?
I asked the board if they would save my presentation toward the end because I had hoped that liquor would make it more palatable. We'll see how that goes. I'm certainly more accustomed to making these presentations after so many years than I am to accepting one. I've been fortunate in my life. I enjoyed the love of a family. I grew up in the 50s and 60s Bronx, and in the police department met and worked with some of the most smartest, kindest, most decent and honorable men and women one could imagine. But what sustained me most during some difficult periods of my life was my immediate family. I have a beautiful wife who loved and supported me in every respect and in every way a person can. And 3 beautiful daughters who loved me no matter what. I thank Joe and Angela and the entire board, the executive board of the foundation, for allowing me the honor of serving as vice president for so many years. It was truly my honor. The lifetime achievement, I don't know about that. There are many here tonight who are certainly more deserving than I, and whose achievements would dwarf mine. No one achieves success without the loving support of others. And anyone who has achieved and realized success knows that. I thank you all, those who are here tonight, and those who couldn't be. It's on behalf of my partners, my friends, my wife, my daughters, that I thank you. I thank the foundation, I thank the board, and it's on behalf of these people that I accept this award. Thank you very much.
This year's President's